Sometimes in life, the biggest differences lie within the similarities between two things. And sometimes two things that look alike, well, pretty much are. What's going on, everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. What am I talking about with all the philosophizing? I'm talking about the new BlackBerry Tour. Last week it was the Verizon version. This week it's the Sprint version. Just got the Sprint BlackBerry Tour, which officially launched at the same time as the Verizon version, but the Verizon version seemed to hit retail outlets sooner and hit my hot hands a little bit sooner, but the folks at Sprint sent us their version of the Tour, and here it is for your unboxing pleasure. Similar to the Verizon version, the Sprint version will run you $199.99 on contract after all your rebates and all that kind of stuff. And it's a CDMA BlackBerry smartphone with the new BlackBerry styling and the tradition of the curve and so forth. You've got a 3.2 megapixel camera, you've got GPS, and it's Sprint worldwide service capable. Let's take a look inside the box and see what's what. In the box, you get your getting started guide. You get the phone itself. Here it is. We'll get back to that in a second. You get your BlackBerry North America Folding Blade Charger Micro USB Black. This is your standard BlackBerry charger you're used to. You get a holster case with a big piece of foam inside of it. You get your USB to micro USB cable for data and charging. And you get your 3.5mm stereo headset with an inline microphone remote control thingy. Oh yeah, and you get some manuals. I just tossed those aside. Getting started, and so forth. Anything we missed? What does it say on the box here? Nope, your user tool CD, which is inside the manuals case there, and a micro SD card is installed. So $199.99, just like the Verizon version, but it runs on Sprint. And you can use it. It's a world phone, just like the Verizon version as well. I'll take off all the protective film. Put that over on the manuals for safekeeping. Take off the back here. So we'll take off the back here and show you. Here's your micro SD card. It's a Samsung card, which means nothing, which is kind of interesting. 1 gigabyte. And then you've got a SIM card. So just like the Verizon version, World Phone, there's your Sprint SIM card. And you can hook up your global roaming with Sprint. Here's your battery. While this is open, may as well pull the battery out. 1380 milliamp hours minimum, 1400 typical. And while we're firing it up, wouldn't it be handy if we had the Verizon version of the Tour on hand so we could do a quick little comparison? Oh, hey, looky there. It's the Verizon Tour next to the Sprint Tour. So basically the Verizon Tour is, as the kids say, murdered out. Just meaning it's not quite all black, but the chrome trim is darker. It's that dark gray as opposed to the silver of the Sprint version. Otherwise, very, very similar looking. You've got the logos on the bottom different, obviously. Screens are the same size. Trackball is the same. Keyboard looks the same. On the side, it's the same. On the back, it's the same. Although interesting, the Sprint version, the back is actually darker than the quote murdered out Verizon version. The Sprint version, you've got a glossy black trim around the battery door. The Verizon version is like a matte dark gray that matches the top there. On the Sprint version, you've got a little checkerboard effect. And then on the other side, the right side panel, the same with your headphone jack and everything else. So there you go, a quick first look at the Sprint BlackBerry Tour, shown side to side with the Verizon BlackBerry Tour. The Sprint Tour, $199.99 on contract. It's the long boot up just because I took the battery out so I could show you the battery size, and that's what's making it spin the clock round and round, right round like a record, baby. Alright, so now that we're started up here, we will confirm our languages. And there's a SIM card in there, and I guess it's auto detecting. Here we go. English. I'll just leave it as English for now. And so there you go. You know, it's the typical BlackBerry. You've got your Sprint background, but otherwise, software, Sprint software store, Sprint navigation, social networking, Facebook, MySpace, Flickr, sports and entertainment. So you've got some Sprint options here: NASCAR, Sprint Cup, NFL Mobile Live, MLB Mobile Premium, Sprint TV, Sprint Music Store, Pandora, Pocket Express. They call it sports entertainment as opposed to Sprint add-on stuff, but you get the idea. In your downloads, nothing right there right now. And so there you go. We go to options. And about, you're running 4.7.1.40 of the BlackBerry OS. There you go. It's a first look. It's a first look at the BlackBerry 9630 Tour for Sprint. Much the same as the Verizon version, right down to the $200 price tag and the lack of Wi-Fi. It's a 3G World phone. It's from Sprint. It's available now, and you can find out much more about it on PhoneDog.com, where you can also find out about the Verizon version of this phone and all the other phones that are out and coming out in this crazy summer of smartphones. Not just smartphones, feature phones too. For much, much more, head over to PhoneDog.com. You can also spin to win the One-Pod Bandit, where you might win yourself a phone. Until then, I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.